Folks, this is one of those holy hit with an S in front of it moments on the show. What the hell is going on with the FBI, New York Times, and Project Veritas? This scandal. This is me, again, having been a former federal agent. My humble opinion, this is the most brazen scam since the spying operation on Donald Trump. So long and short of it is this, and then I'll get to Tucker and Harmeet Dillon, this video in a second. The New York Times is undergoing a court case right now, being sued by Project Veritas for defamation, right? Project Veritas, James O'Keefe's group, a conservative group, is suing the New York Times for defamation. That case is ongoing, and it's not going well for the New York Times. The FBI just raided Project Veritas founder James O'Keefe's New York City apartment, and the information from the raid leaks to the New York Times is being sued by Project Veritas. Guy, am I making this up? I'm not making this up. You're like, no, that's not happening. No, it's happening. Here is Tucker last night and an excellent attorney, Harmeet Dillon, who is Project Veritas's attorney in the case, describing exactly what I just said. Check this out.
Is the connection, the obvious connection, real? I mean, what is this?
Well, our client James O'Keefe's home was raided on Saturday morning by the FBI. They had a battering ram, and they threw him out in the hallway and took, in handcuffs and took his phones. Now, a lot of privileged information was on his phones, including communications with, by my count, 4 different lawyers over the years. And coincidentally, this publication came out this afternoon from the New York Times. Now, I can't say with a certainty how the New York Times got this information, but I can say that they got it in a way that is illegal and unethical. And so we have to ask that question. And so, what we have right now is a very disturbing situation of the U.S. Attorney's Office and/or the FBI tipping off the New York Times to each of the raids on Project Veritas's current and former employees last week. We know that because minutes after these raids occurred, they got calls from the New York Times, which is the only journalism outlet that knew about it. And they published this hit piece today, which is really despicable. I don't think I've ever seen this low from the New York Times before, to publish people's private legal communications. And by the way, what does it prove, New York Times? All it proves is that Project Veritas is an honest and thoughtful journalistic organization that sought legal advice before making various publications.
So just to sum this up before we go into the receipts here, right? Project Veritas sues the New York Times a while ago for defamation. The trial is going very poorly for the New York Times. I'll show you something on that in a second, right? Project Veritas could very well win that case against the New York Times. The FBI then raids Project Veritas' founder James O'Keefe's apartment in New York. Is apparently, according to Harmeet Dillon, tipped off about the raid because they're calling O'Keefe instantly as it happens, according to Harmeet Dillon. And then is leaked information, apparently the products of the FBI raid, about the communications Project Veritas have had with their lawyer. You're probably thinking, like, this can't possibly be true. Like, is this bizarro Superman world? It's not. It's regular Superman world. This is actually happening. Now, a federal judge yesterday, thankfully, in a moment of brief sanity, appears to have realized there is something seriously brazen going on with this scam. And a federal judge yesterday ordered the FBI, as you'll see in this PJ Media headline, you can read the article in my newsletter, ordered the FBI to stop the search of Project Veritas founder O'Keefe's phone following the raid. Just a second of sanity in this insane world. Now, if you'd like to read a little bit about this, you can go to Molly Hemingway's piece from March of this year about Project Veritas, quote, winning an early round in their defamation suit against the New York Times, which, according to Harmeet Dillon, the lawyer, appears to have been tipped off about the FBI raid on Project Veritas, who's suing them. Now, in a stunningly stupid piece, and I mean a genuinely dumb, like, we're just going to stick it in your face and hope you don't do anything about it. The New York Times somehow thought it was a good idea. Adam Goldman, there he is, PP tape hoaxer again. Adam Goldman and the New York Times write this article yesterday about Project Veritas and the line between journalism and political spying, talking about documents taken during the FBI raid. And they write this. This is incredible. How stupid they are to have put this down on paper. The documents, a series of memos written by the group's lawyer. Wait, what? Project Veritas lawyer detail ways for Project Veritas sting operations, which typically diverge from standard journalistic practice, by employing people who mask their real identities or create fake ones to infiltrate target organizations to avoid breaking federal statutes, such as the law against lying to government officials. Guy, you getting this? So the New York Times has access to apparently information taken by the FBI, even though they're being sued by Project Veritas. Between Project Veritas, they have access to information between Veritas and their lawyers, indicating that Project Veritas talks to their lawyer about how not to break the law. Can you go back to that? I don't mean to screw you up here, but I'm just want to be sure I read that right. So Project Veritas, they have a series of memos the New York Times magically got a hold of. Did someone from the FBI leak this? On how Project Veritas intends to, quote, avoid breaking federal statutes? Hang them by the toenails. How are we allowing this to happen? Folks, rather than complaining about this, let me propose two solutions right now. A special counsel needs to be appointed here immediately. The FBI is clearly out of control. Clearly out of control. An immediate appointment of a special counsel. Every Republican should be on the side of that. Secondly, my proposal to disband the FBI is now just smacking us all right in the face. This is an organization that has clearly lost its code. It's lost its way. I'm not indicting everyone there. I've worked with the men and women there. The men I worked with were terrific. I'm not going to lie to you for the sake of effect. They were great. And I'm sure there were a lot of great patriots over there. A lot of great people who care about the country. The hard reality is the organization has collapsed, and the really good members of the FBI have not been able to save it. The FBI needs to be disbanded. The culture there is rotten to the core. And any candidate running for office on the presidential side or anywhere else in 2022 and 2024 who doesn't commit to a massive house cleaning is not our guy. This is an embarrassment. Project Veritas sues the New York Times. Project Veritas comes into the possession of an Ashley Biden journal. The FBI then raids the house and then it leaks to the New York Times, along with the evidence of the raid leaks and evidence from the raid, which is privileged communications between Project Veritas and the lawyer, which the New York Times is getting sued, gets their hands on. Yeah, sounds legit to me, folks. Sounds perfectly normal. Disband the FBI as soon as we take power and replace it with an organization with a new constitutional infrastructure where people actually care about constitutional guidelines. This is insane. Okay, moving on.